Hey, what's going on guys? I'm Primalliquid and welcome to my Final Fantasy 15 top 5 tips and tricks that most people don't actually know. Okay, so we're just going to jump straight into things right now. Did you actually know that there is actually a God mode built into the game? So a lot of people don't actually know this because it's really not explained in game that well. Basically, if you play on easy mode, you will actually have the Carbuncle summon. Now, what that means is when Noctis's HP actually reaches 0, now I don't mean 0 as in goes into the danger mode, I mean when you're already in danger mode and the little grey bar completely hits the end, it will actually automatically summon Carbuncle and fully restore Noctis to full health, which pretty much means playing on easy mode, it's literally impossible to get a game over. Now, there are a few places in the game where this doesn't work. For example, the secret dungeons when you're in post-game. By that I mean the dungeons inside dungeons, you know, like the super high level ones. You can't use Carbuncle in those dungeons. There are also some hunts where Carbuncle is not allowed, such as the Adamantoise, and then a few of the smaller ones as well. Now, why? I'm not really too sure. I mean, it seems a little odd that they allow it for pretty much the entire game, including some super high level enemies. But then there's also like some level 15 hunts where it's like, you can't use Carbuncle here. But either way, it's God mode pretty much. So why complain, eh? Okay, moving on. Now, we're going to look at AP here. Now, there are a lot of people who have different views on what the best way to get such a huge amount of AP is, especially given how much AP you actually need to max out the Ascension grid. So some people think that driving around in circles in the car is a good way, some think riding the Chocobo is a good way. I know a lot of people are leaning more towards fishing, however the best way to gain AP by far is actually warp striking low level enemies just outside Hammerhead. So, to do this, what you need to do is first get to Chapter 4. The reason you have to get to Chapter 4 is because in Chapter 4, you can get the Monster Whistle, which basically, using the Monster Whistle, when you actually kill a group of enemies and the battle ends, you can use the Monster Whistle to re-summon a group of enemies, basically going from battle to battle extremely quickly. Now, using this, if you go outside Hammerhead where, you know, the monsters are like level 1, level 2, just warp strike all the enemies to kill them, and then immediately use the Monster Whistle to re-summon more enemies. Using this method, you can actually gain between 500 and 700 AP an hour, which absolutely completely destroys any other method of AP grinding in the game. Now, when we actually get New Game Plus, as long as we actually get to take over AP into the New Game Plus, then this method will be obsolete to the New Game Plus. However, at the moment, this is by far the quickest method. Now, moving on to the third tip and trick is Gil. Now, in the game, there are only a few ways to actually get Gil. There's hunts or there's pretty much selling items. It's pretty much just those two ways to get Gil. Now, selling items it's okay, and so's hunts. However, there are two main ways that you can get Gil. One is you can play Justice Monster 5 in Ultisia, that's the 10,000 Gil one, because if you get 99 treasure, you actually get a item called the Wind Up Lord Vaxo. Now, that sells for 500,000 Gil. Yes, 500,000 Gil. Now, that takes about an hour to get. However, that is not the best way to get Gil in the game. The best way to get Gil is actually, if you go to the outpost near the volcano, you can pick up a hunt called Verenous Mart Under Threat. Now, what this hunt needs is you basically have to go and kill 7 wyverns, which aren't really all that far away. Now, the hunt itself doesn't actually give much Gil. I think it's like 1,600 Gil off the top of my head. However, what you actually want from this battle is the wyvern wings, which these wyverns drop. Now, if you eat a mother and child rice ball at the nearby campground, that will actually increase your drop rate by 50%. Oh, excuse me. Now, using the mother and child rice ball, which you get from Lestallum, by the way, fighting the wyverns, I have actually gotten 7 wyvern wings every single time. That is a 100% drop rate on the wyvern wings, and I've been farming Gil this way for about 3 to 4 hours, so you can assume just how many drops that actually is, to get 100% drop rate like that. Now, the reason why this method is actually better, even though the gil actually works out roughly the same, maybe a little less per hour, is using this method you actually get a very, very large amount of EXP as well, and you can also gain AP, which basically means you're farming 3 things at once to get pretty much the same amount of gil. However, that's not all. Using this method, you will also be leveling up Ignis's cooking skill, because obviously, you know, you're cooking the mother and child rice balls, and because of the walking around, you're also leveling you're also leveling Gladius's survival skill. Okay, so moving on to EXP. Now, a lot of people are calling this an exploit or a glitch. No, it's neither. This is put into the game, you know. I mean, if you look at the item description, it clearly says increases EXP. This was put in the game on purpose. It is not an exploit. Yes, you can abuse it, but it is not an exploit. So basically, while you're playing through the game, you'll come across some debased coins, debased silver pieces, or debased banknotes, or the best one of them all, the rare coin. Now, if you use Allomancy and use these rare coins, you can get an EXP multiplier. Now, the best way to do this is actually, if you get rare coins, if you use 8 rare coins with 1 Allomancy, that'll give you a 96 EXP multiplier, and it will also give you 5 casts of magic. Now, the reason why I say to use 8 coins is because going over that 96 EXP multiplier is not really worth it, and 8 coins is actually the breakpoint to get the 5th magic cast. Now, this will give you, well, once you use all 5 casts this way, you will get 100,000 XP. Yes, 100,000 XP for 5 magic casts. Now, it does not matter what enemy you fight. It does not multiply enemies' base EXP. It is a flat amount of EXP gain. Per cast, you are looking at getting about 20,000 XP. However, you can increase this further. For example, if you go to the Wiz outpost in the Disgaea region, all you have to do is complete 2 or 3 quests there, and the main guy who gives you food and hunts will actually get a meal that you can eat, which increases your EXP by 50%. Now, I know in this video I don't actually have the food, however, with an extra 50%, it would basically turn my EXP from 100,000 gained to 150,000 EXP, and that's per fight. Now, if you want to farm the rare coins, the best way to do this is basically start in Lestalem and go all the way southwest down to the volcano region and just pick up all the blue dots that you come across. Now, when you come across one, if you save the game, pick it up, it's not a rare coin, no problem, just reload your save just. Keep doing that until you get a rare coin. You can farm quite a few quite quickly this way. Now, some people are getting quite lucky and getting, you know, 20 or 30 in half an hour to an hour. Other people are getting quite unlucky and it's taken them about 2 hours to farm this many. However, this is the best way to get to the max level cap, since, you know, the EXP, you're talking 150k per battle, more depending on how many coins you decide to get. I mean, I only used like 14 coins in this video. However, if you spend a couple hours to do this, you know, get out like 30-40 coins, make a bunch of Xperia casts using 8 coins at a time, you know, you could quite easily get a lot of EXP, and then just go to the hotel in Atelier, rest at that hotel for the 10,000 gil to times your EXP by 3, resulting in literally ludicrous amounts of EXP. Okay, now moving on to the final tip and trick. This is one that a lot of people really don't know because they basically try this at a normal outpost rather than Atelier. So, Justice Monster 5 in Lucas, pretty much every outpost will have a Justice Monster 5 machine, which you can play for 10 gil. However, the items locked behind the 10 gil machine are really not really worthwhile considering the amount of time they can take to get. However, there's one in Atelier, which if you go to the Palsino street station on the gondola, just to the right there's a Justice Monster 5 machine which costs 10,000 gil to play, and some of the best items are locked behind this Justice Monster 5. Okay, so what you want to do is play this Justice Monster 5 machine and keep hitting the rudders or keep hitting the little ball that's in the middle of the Justice Monster 5, and you'll basically eventually start spinning the bonus wheel. Now, if you look in the center of the screen, you'll have 4 circles. Now, each time you spin the bonus wheel, one of those circles will turn yellow. And once all 4 circles are turned yellow, you can't actually spin the bonus wheel again until you've killed a boss round. So once you get all 4 bonuses, kill the boss round to move on to the next wave, and you can start spinning the bonus wheel again. Now, the items you want to look for playing Justice Monster 5 is once you actually get 99 treasures, you can get a Wind-Up Lord Vaxos, which is, well, it sells for the most amount of gil in the game. It sells for 500,000 gil. Now, that is primarily the reason people go for this. However, there is another one. If you use this item in Elemency, it will actually not only give you a Limit Break 99, which means it instantly turns Fire Magic into Flare, Ice Magic into Freeze, or Lightning Magic into Electro. It will break the damage cap, so you can do more than 9,999 damage. And the best part about the Wind-Up Lord Vaxos is it immediately gives you over 50 casts of magic. Yes, 50 casts of magic. Now, if you spend a couple hours farming this, you can get a lot of casts of magic. Not only that, because it increases the potency by around 100 per item, if you spend, I don't know, 10 hours farming the Wind-Up Lord Vaxoses, you can get max potency magic with just a ludicrous amount of casts. Now, I'm not entirely sure if you can actually go above 99 casts of magic per like magic making session, if you will. However, if you can, that is going to be roughly 500 casts of max max potency damage. That is insane. That's pretty much guaranteed to do the maximum 99,999 damage. And when you think about over 500 casts of that, you can see just how ludicrous that actually is. Now, moving on, if you get 90 to 98 treasure, you will get the Onan Bangle. The Onan Bangle is pretty much the second best HP bangle in the game, second only to the Adamantite Bangle. However, you can only get 1 Adamantite Bangle per playthrough session, which means the Onan Bangle is the best farmable bangle. Now, this bangle increases your HP by 2,500, which is pretty much needed to get all characters to the max HP cap of 9,999. And moving on to the last item you want to look for is the Dark Matter Bracelet. Now, to get this, you need to get 80 to 89 treasure. Now, the Dark Matter Bracelet increases your strength by 100 points. Now, there are a couple other ways to get this. For example, you can get the max hunter rank, which is hunter rank 10. I believe you can get one in one of the post-game dungeons. I really can't remember, so please don't quote me on that. However, the quickest and easiest way to farm this is, again, Justice Monster 5, making this the best tip and trick that honestly nobody seems to know, because the items you can get from Justice Monster 5 are absolutely amazing, and considering just how easily, how early, and how quickly you can actually farm these is unreal. And well guys, that's it for my top 5 tips and tricks videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, and if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always guys, peace out.